Hey everyone, I'm back again with another part of the Silksong run. So, from where I am now, I think, if I remember correctly, it's been a little bit since I've played this, I'm almost at my 7th mask. And so I was planning on getting that pretty early on. So I was going to look at the map here just to double check, because I know there's a few somewhat nearby locations. Like, I think there's a mask shard right here, actually. I think, if I have a map of the wormways, looks like I've probably already gotten one there. There's a fair few of of all these mask cards, which I've already very likely gotten. But I figure I know where a few of them are, and so it's, probably fairly worth it to go through and get just like one or two more of them. And then I can actually start working through a lot more of the game. Right now, I am back here. I think I already picked up all the wishes from that wish wall. Okay, so, from what I am aware, there is a mask shard down here in the Keeper's Vaults. So I think that's probably going to be one of the first areas I'm going to check. I do believe there's a bit of a secret area over here eventually. These enemies are a little bit of a problem, just because they're very tanky. There we go. Those guys are always a little nerve-wracking to take out, especially just where I am. Because soon I should still be able to get some more damage, but I do think I actually have to sort of go through the Whispering Vaults first. These guys, I don't think you can actually really parry their projectiles. They're one of the few thrower enemies in game where that tends to be the case. So these guys, you sort of just gotta try and get one hit at a time on them. And again, flying enemies have the really common tendency in this game of just loving to fly away from you all the time. So even if I'm trying to actually be a little more aggressive, it tends to still be a little bit of a pain to deal with them. So luckily, the boss of this area I don't really find to be all too difficult, Trabio. So you sort of get him just near the end after you've gone through really all the Whispering Vaults. Apparently I am able to get up there, it looks like. And I think out here is that sort of other area I was talking about. I don't really have a whole bunch of use for going out here, as far as I'm aware. Because this is... oh, never mind. So there's a Silk Eater here, so that's going to be some more money. And another one of the Keepers, which I totally forgot was there. I will have to see the other way to get out eventually. So this here is going to be the Vault Keeper. This is how I'm going to get one of those 3 songs to completely open the next section of the game and the final boss. You can see him right here, actually. Just like that sort of little bit of him. He's hiding right now, primarily because I think I haven't found any of the Psalm cylinders quite yet. But there's one. So this is very similar to the other lady who takes relics back in Belhart. There's also a lot of hidden corners like that, so sometimes it's worth it to check. So yeah, these are very, very similar to just all the relics. They give me some money. There's not very many of them. There's like 6 total, I think. Okay, so there's the first one. 200 rosaries. All these are pretty much just little audio bits. They're kind of neat. Really, you just need the one overall in order to actually get part of the song. But for now, collecting all of them gives a pretty good bit of money, and considering there aren't really all that many of them, typically they're worth it. Plus, as always, 100% completion. So, most of the thing about this area is that you kind of always want to come back down, or like kind of go back up from everywhere you're going down, and hitting all those platforms that are on runners. So like here, I can't go there yet. But as soon as I'm, around the bottom and over the other side, then I should be able to go back around. And it's sort of just an area where, like, it's not that bad to traverse once you've already sort of gotten through it. And you do want to be careful, because I think you can actually just accidentally close yourself back off. Let's see here. But for the most part, this area is just kind of like looking around, making sure you're sort of staying safe, and just heading down. I think, because I really am trying to also sort of remember, like, yeah, I think up there is that mask shard, if I check the map. It seems like it. So I have to go below in this area to get that. I don't think there's anything else I can really do too much around here, because I have to go in from below. But I can at least open this bit of a shortcut. Can check the left too, albeit I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I think... So there's this secret room here, which I don't actually want to go into quite yet. It's kind of a joke, but you literally just unleash this, like, enemy type that Hornet herself describes as stupidly annoying. And she also pretty much just says, well, it is exclusively my fault that those exist in this area now. Trying to deal with this guy without getting too close to him. There we go. I figured he was probably almost dead. I just missed that last ability with him. So I can at least deal with the flying guy here. And I think to the left here might actually be my next, damage upgrade. I think, yeah, it's a little bit cheesy, but you can take these guys out through some of the thinner floors. Well, for the most part, they made that a much harder thing to do in this game. It's not entirely undoable, which is honestly kind of funny. I think that you're in general supposed to sort of do this, because I think it unlocks an easier way to get up. Yeah. Or, well, I think you're actually supposed to go all the way from the top. I was able to do this before, I'm pretty sure. But I guess I'm just bad and can't do it now. Here we are. So then you're able to go all the way up here. And there's sort of a longer... Oh, you can actually, funny enough, just take these enemies and kill them by hitting the sliders directly into them. This area, this room in specific, sort of has like a lot of backtracking. They really just want you to go back around, like all the way to the bottom here. And then you can come up here, hit this upwards. And that should have most of this puzzle done. I sort of forget exactly what's over on this end, but... There we go. Ah, there it is. I figured it might have been a flea, but I wasn't entirely sure. So I'm going to go check this room first, because I am pretty sure... There we go. Because I am pretty sure that this is where I get the next needle upgrade. I'm pretty sure this room is basically just a big-ass labyrinth. And you sort of just got to figure out where you're going. And I'm sort of trying to remember, because I think you got to hit up one of these. Or something similar. There it is. And I don't think there's any secrets around here, but a lot of the times if you ever see curtains like this in the corners, especially if you can jump into them, that typically means that there's something hidden there. Right, you go from the bottom. There it is. And right here is going to be our next needle upgrade. So I believe it's not this one, but the next one that's going to require some extra rosaries. No, I believe it actually is this one. It costs like 800 rosaries. So it is a little bit expensive, but it's doable. So currently I'm right here. I think I'm going to head back in here and around. Just because I'm already in the Whispering Vaults in the first place, so I can go get it done right now. It's not too difficult of an area, and, you know, I'll make a little bit of progress. Because I don't have to fight the next boss yet, and I'll still be able to head back around to the Bellway, and that's sort of where I'm planning on going anyway to upgrade my nail now. This here, though, I figure I might as well also just unlock these enemies, even if the entire point is that they're a pain. Yep, so these guys. They are very similar to sort of like those little bell enemies underneath Bellheart. They just sort of dash at you. Oh, okay. I was very confused for a second. I saw the blue flash around me. That's the item that gives me just a chance not to take damage. But these things are basically just everywhere in the Whispering Vaults now. They aren't really a big deal. They aren't that difficult of an enemy, which is why I was pretty comfortable adding them in, and I figured it would make progress on the Hunter's Journal entry anyway. So I thought we'd just get it done. So this room here, I'm going to go back around and then get that sort of unlocked in a minute. This area has a lot of, like, the keepers. Yeah, and it's up here, actually, that you kind of go back around and up. Go. Okay. A lot of rooms like this, I'm pretty much just going to try to use my tools to take them out really quickly, because I do not want to deal with most of these enemies. Specifically the big guys, just because of how tanky they are. They shouldn't be much of a problem once I get the next damage upgrade. But from what I've learned, apparently, in this game, damage upgrades are actually, like, really, really weird. And each enemy gets, like, how would I say it? Like, dynamic variations of defense every time you get a needle upgrade. So damage in this game is, like, super unintuitive. There we go. The bigger variations of the enemies, as I think I've mentioned, they're kind of rare. So you do want to take them out every time you can. There was that one rhino beetle in, I believe, like the sort of edge area. That enemy's also fairly rare, and I unfortunately just was pretty sure I was going to get killed if I ended up going for it. So I did not end up actually, you know... There we go. I did not end up actually fully getting that enemy killed. From what I understand, because I did double check, it is available in Act 3, and it's also available in the Memoriam. The Memoriam one never leaves, and the one in Act 3 it should be, like, right outside the shop, so I should just be able to take it out. Yep, here we go. So that's sort of what I meant where I mentioned in these corners, there's sort of these secret areas. So this area, when I'm ready, will take me down to Bilewater. I do not want to go to Bilewater yet, because Bilewater is, in my opinion, and as I've mentioned, probably one of, if not the biggest pain in the ass areas in this whole game, except for its sort of like brother, which is the Putrefied Waterways. Those two areas are, in my opinion, just absolutely horrid. They have loads of, like, maggots in the water everywhere, which I still do, from my understanding, need the Hunter's Journal entry for. But they've got that. They've got a lot of, honestly, just kind of scary enemies that attack really that like attack really frequently and hit really hard. All right, did not expect that guy to just fall. but they've got a lot of stuff. And right over here, if I'm correct, is pretty much the end of the Whispering Vaults. Oh, there we go. And this should, I believe, be the area that I can get the next Mask Shard. Mind you, with a little bit of weird room design, it's a little tough to see, but here it is. So 7 masks, as I've mentioned, is sort of that magic number that I've been looking for. So there's still 2 more masks I'm able to get in this act, but 7 is probably one of the biggest upgrades to keeping me alive. Just, like, in the entire game. One kind of neat thing about this area is if you happen to make it all the way here from Act 1, and you've never purchased the quill from Chakra, there's actually a secondary quill that you can get here, and from what I understand, there might actually even be a third one if you make it all the way to Act 3. So the boss here, Trabio, he'll be up here. I will still go through that area. I don't need to fight him quite yet, so I don't think I will right away, but I will pretty soon, just because, you know, I'm getting to that point where I do actually need to get the songs. But he's got like a red quill at his writing desk, and you can take the quill if you manage to get all the way there without ever purchasing a quill beforehand. And here's the second piece of the cogwork heart. I don't think there's anything else in this room. I did the wrong first one. There we go. And I think that's piece 2 of 3 of the cogwork heart. Unless I've collected 2, but I don't think I have. But that'll again unlock a new NPC and eventually a new boss fight. So if I check the cogwork heart, yep, that's 2 of 3. Don't think there's anything else around this area. So there's the quill that you can normally take. So there we go. That's just sort of like Trabio's little homage to himself. And so you're able to sort of just unlock that little shortcut after going through here. So right below us is his arena. We sort of encountered it earlier. Not entirely, because I can head right now in there. But from this area, if I head out here, this brings us pretty much right to the Bellway. So first off, I'm going to go back to Bellheart, unlock my nail upgrade, because better damage is always nice. I think there's a few other things I would like to look at. I would like to go check out the Steel Soul NPC in that one spot that I sort of, like, missed, because I was entirely unsure whether it was a fight or not. From what I gather, I don't think it is. I don't think Pavo has anything new to say quite yet. Never mind. Alright. So as of now, we finally have the bell home. And another wish, it looks like. Ah, so the Savage Beastfly is the other boss I was talking about. So there was the one that I killed for the Crest of the Beast. This is the one that's in the same arena as the fourth chorus, which is a little bit of a pain. But that's alright. Okay. And so getting the other one from the Gourmand, I think I'm able to do it because I have all the mobilities. And I also have the ability to get everywhere, and I have both the couriers. And so that should actually make me entirely able to get the second needle upgrade. It's just going to be a little bit, just because it's kind of a pain to get all the items, and some of them require some scary areas. Okay, so now you're actually able to see. So there's the Shining Needle, and next I believe it turns into the Hive Steel Needle before it becomes the Pale Needle. So we've got a few wishes still. There's the Silver Bells. I can go back to new, actually. I've got a lot of stuff sort of just around here. But since I'm already near the Blasted Steps, I will, in just a minute, go check out that NPC. So there's a few things I can actually get in here. It's pretty empty for now. It's a secondary bench in Bellheart, which is, you know, kind of pointless. But the shopkeeper here now sends a bunch of stuff related to it. I don't know if there's a bunch of stuff I really need for it. I think the desk is probably the most important thing. You can also get a hot spring in it. And then later you're able to get something which tells you your game completion, so that's pretty important. But none of this else is really too important, and I'm just barely missing enough for that. I don't remember if I have any extra rosaries on hand. It looks like I do. Not very many, but just enough. And I've got a couple Silk Eaters, which I can also go turn in for some extra money, but I figure I might as well get another sort of trinket or tool for now. And I can talk to one of these couriers, at least. So here we are. So there's always typically two of these supplies which you can deliver to places, and then there's the courier's rasher. And so the courier's rasher is sort of the pain one, but it's not going to be too bad when I actually am trying to go for it. But I will need that for the next needle upgrade. And while it does kind of suck, I'm able to get it. Okay. So Shellwood is, I believe, the closest one. Unless I'm wrong, I might check again in a second, just because it could also be the Blasted Steps one. It looks like they're honestly both kind of about equal. And if I'm in Shellwood right now, I believe I'm actually also able to... Yes, that's right. I'm also actually able to go check the other merchant, who's, you know, actually in the Blasted Steps in the first place. I don't think I have enough rosaries to buy anything from him right now, but he sells some pretty useful stuff when I'm actually, you know, able to afford it. From what I understand, I should actually also head down here in a little bit, because there is, there's another one of those, like, little bugs carrying a mossberry around here. I'm not 100% sure where it is, but I figure it's actually probably worth a look real quick since I seldom ever come here. Not sure exactly where it's going to be, but I'm going to keep an eye out for it real quick. I don't think it's actually necessary to do that entire move, but I think it's kind of fun to do on those spikes. And then I think this leads to the Wormways. I see this area over here. Does this also just lead to Shellwood? Ah, right, so this is where you unlock the, God, what do you call it? This is where you unlock one of those Coral Commandments for the first time, I believe. Huh. So I guess I might be wrong about where I was looking for, but that's alright, because right now, I'm pretty much right back to Bone Bottom. So I can head straight back up in just a minute. I know there is another Steel Soul NPC to the left of here, but I do not know if it's unlocked. I think last time I went to check, I didn't see it. I have no clue if that's Act 3 exclusive or whatever, but as of now, because I didn't happen to see any one of the Mossberries again, I'm just going to head back down here. Or back up here to the Blasted Steps, and that should make it pretty quick to get to that NPC. Yeah, so from what I understand, this NPC isn't a boss, so I'm a lot less hesitant in, you know, actually going to check it out. And here we are. So this is a bit of a unique quest, which I haven't seen before. So that's interesting. I think it said it would mark it. Yep, right here. So from what I understand, there's also another character like down here, sort of at the left of Bonegrave. There's another thing here in the Wormways I know too. I may go retrieve that because I believe it's like another tool. Hang on, actually. Hang on, do I have... I think I do have the explosives now, and since I'm back here, I was thinking I could just go collect these sort of, the Hunter's Journal for these little bugs down in the sand. I missed the dodge on that. But I don't have any bench super near to equip it looks like. Okay, so what I'm sort of thinking, based on where I am, I've got a couple options. I can go either see the Pinstress and unlock the area called Sands of Karak, which is honestly a very scary platforming area. I can also head down and left a little bit. So I think I might do that, because I don't exactly remember what's around there in full. So I am right here, right about now. I think I can actually just head down by going to the right and dropping down. These enemies I don't actually see all too terribly often either. I'm not a huge fan of these things that shoot diagonally, because, like, you can reflect their bullets, but it's kind of a pain to do that. I'm feeling much more confident now with 7 masks, so like I'm a lot more willing to just deal with enemies, but some of them are absolutely still kind of a pain. I think there's a bit of a bench just to the left of here if I want to do that, but there's also... Oh, I was going to say to the right, but there is also one to the left. speaking of which, actually, now I may as well just go get the thing I was mentioning, the Hunter's Journal entry. A lot of me playing this is sort of just a mishmash of whatever I remember, whenever I'm, you know, at an area. Okay, so I'll just replace this for a minute with the Pimpillo. Don't really have many of them, but from what I understand, you can just kind of... Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to replace that... Oh, well, there you go. So I'm going to replace that in just a second. Again, with just my threefold pins. I prefer those in general. And now I'm going to head back down and to the left, because there is a bit of a secret. I don't know if I'd say it's really a secret. You can see it on the map, but there is a bit of a way to get up from here. Okay, so I think what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to do that, there, jump. So do that there, and then double jump. I think I messed it up a little bit, but this jump is a little tricky to make. Not a huge fan of the boulders in this area, but that's okay. Ooh. These enemies also just have a stupid big reach for what they are, so it's best to be careful around them. Ooh! You can definitely tell that needle upgrade is coming really handy. Ooh. Not doing too well in this area, but luckily I am also only one hit away from a heal. Okay. Really not doing too well here. Also being pretty careful here. That looks just like another mask shard. I would like to get another hit on this enemy here. Just to heal up before I head back. There we go. Still not the greatest health, but I can deal with it at least. And with another mask shard, I think I'm doing just fine. There's another one I know where to get, but the other two for an 8th mask, I'm not 100% sure. But, you know, kind of just a neat little thing to get. Based on, you know, what that NPC said, it might be a little difficult to sort of get that thing for the Steel Soul quest, so I do want to be a little cautious with that, and I'm thinking, as of now, I'm probably going to go up and talk to the Pinstress, because I can first off get basically the equivalent of like the charged nail from the first game. There's only really one of these abilities so far, but I figure, hang on here, there you go, there's a bit of a skip. It's not too precise, but it can save you a lot of time from traversing this whole room, because this entire thing is a bit of a pain. And it's right up here, I believe, because it sort of leads to the Sands of Karak as well. That's above where the Pinstress's house is. I don't believe I have to do a second boss right here yet. I could be totally wrong, though, because there is a boss upcoming. Would be nice to also get a heal in. Sometimes these enemies are just a little sketchy because you have absolutely no clue if they're about to hit you. So yeah, this is the boss that I have to fight before I get the charge nail. Luckily, this boss is not exactly what I'd call super difficult. I don't really need to use my tools a whole bunch, but I figure it'll probably speed this up. The main thing about these enemies is that, you know, there's 2 of them. Mistimed that one a little bit, but it's alright, because again, this boss in particular, I feel very comfortable in actually being able to get, like, all the silk I need to heal. And not getting hit very much in the first place. There will be a second one of these fights later on, but it's only going to have 1 instead. That one's definitely a little more difficult, but for now, not too big of a deal. Okay, or he'll just absolutely destroy me right there. And there we go. Originally, because of those sort of statues in the back, I thought this was going to be an area for another crest. It is not. As far as I'm aware, I actually have a pretty, like, big amount of the crests, because I've got 4, and I'm still... Okay, so I'm still missing the Wishes, the Architects, and the Shaman. So the Shamans, I can't even get until Act 3. The Witches is the one I have to take the curse for, and again, I would like all the masks I can possibly get before that. Just because it's a bit of a sketchy section where you just can't heal at all. And the Architects, I think, is probably the nearest one that I'm going to be able to get. There is also later game actually a boss fight against this NPC. It's Act 3 exclusive. It is a little difficult, but it's really not too bad once you've learned it. It's a very floaty boss, and it throws a lot of pins at you. I believe it gives a memento of some sort as well. So now I have this capability. It's not something you ever use all too much. I don't know whether it's affected by crest. I would not doubt it to be. Let's see here. I think it's to the left. Yep. Oh. Unfortunately, not having... Whoop. Unfortunately, not yet having a second silk heart makes it a little bit of a pain to get up here, and I'm pretty sure that there's like no bench at the start of the Sands of Karak, so unfortunately I kind of just gotta deal with this for now. Because I would really rather not take off like one of my items to get the extra silk heart equivalent. Because while it would be useful for this, I do not need it. There we are. So this area's definitely got some sketchy platforming in it. It does have a pretty cool boss later game. So Act 3 specifically is where you can get all of these hearts to unlock the very, very final boss. And up here is going to be one of them. I think just up here for now, you can unlock a few things. But here we are. This area is sort of a whole thing is that everything regrows. So like there's a lore tablet here you can read. So like you can break all these tablets and they just come right back. I remember this is one of the areas that I got to basically significantly after I actually beat the game in the first place. Well, like, just the first boss, or just the, like, first boss on the most simple ending, but I did not get to this area at all until that. There is one of, like, those gourmand, like, quest items here. So I will be coming back for that eventually. I know there's a bit of a secret, yeah, over there to the left. I don't think it's here that you're able to go up. It is right here, as a matter of fact, though. So, ooh, I am not a fan of the bigger ones of these. You know, in case you couldn't tell, holy shit. And there goes the run. Goddamn. So that's going to be a bit of a shorter part, unfortunately. I'm going to do my best, I guess, just, you know, again, play through this, get back to this point. I fucking hate those enemies. So for now, I'm just going to stop the recording. It's going to be a bit of a pain getting back, but I think I should be able to get, like, vast majority of the stuff I already had, if not a few different things. But I will make another episode when I get to that point. So there is normally right above that area going to be another one of those mementos. So once you're in Act 3, that's something you're able to get. You just don't have the mobility to get it until that point. But that'll be something for a later game. So I guess for now, thank you for watching. I'll see you again when I'm actually back at that same area, and stay tuned.